gorgeous afternoon to be out on Chatfield Reservoir. There's Frazier on his motorboat. We don't have the footage, but George actually earlier was water skiing. Well, from Chatfield Reservoir, we move downtown. Lodo is the place for action tonight. The Rockies and Marlins, Game 3 of this 4-game set between these two clubs at Coors Field. And it is a sun splash early evening. Welcome, everybody. Here's the guy who was at Chatfield.
I just told Dougie, throw some water in my face.
That would have worked out nicely. With George Frazier, I'm Drew Goodman. Last night, the Rockies couldn't get after the bullpen of the Marlins. They ended up falling 6-5, but they're still playing very good baseball. Interesting matchup on the hill tonight. Tyler Chatwood has put two very good starts together. A couple of 22-year-olds who throw very hard. Nathan Uvalde from the Dodgers, now at the Marlins.
Well, come over to the trade for Hanley Ramirez. He's going to try to prove his worth to this Marlin ball club. Big arm, and then you got Chatwood, who's throwing exceptionally well in those last couple of starts. I think he's finally bought into the fact, pound the strike zone, my stuff's good enough. I don't care what ballpark I'm throwing in. And I think that's been the biggest advantage for him. 11 innings, 7 hits, a run, a couple of walks, 5 strikeouts. So you can tell it's 5.5 innings every time he's gone out these last couple of starts. That's what he has to do with his stuff, and that is just pound the strike zone, go right at these hitters, and make them beat you. His stuff is way good.
His stuff is terrific. It'll be fun to watch him go against this Marlins lineup. And one hitter in particular, Giancarlo Stanton. He has created a buzz here in Denver. We'll talk more about the 6'8" Miami Marlin when we come back. Chicago to see the Cubs. Welcome back upstairs, Drew Goodman, George Frazier. So this young man by the name of Giancarlo Stanton has taken the National League by storm the last couple of years. And it's not just the fact that he hits home runs, it's how far he hits them.
Yeah, you know, he goes places at Coors Field and all ballparks where no other man's been before. And then Thursday he did it again. He hit a ball deep out of this ballpark. And then again, dead center field. But what last night that caught my eye, we see a lot of guys hit balls there at Coors Field. But where we don't see it is last night, when you see a ball hit 6 rows from the top by the camera well in dead center field against the wind, I want to might add. You know, that part we left out last night during the telecast, that he hit that ball out of the ballpark against the wind, not with the wind behind him.
Yeah, he is a special talent.
Oh, man.
And he's still just trying to figure it out. We'll tell some stories about him later on in the broadcast. But Jenny has a little bit more on the California native Giancarlo, formerly Mike Stanton. Jenny?
Absolutely, Drew. You know, when you see Stanton for the first time in person, he impresses. What about the guys that see him every single day, like his hitting coach, Eduardo Perez? I talked with him before the game. He told me, I played with Mark McGwire and Bo Jackson, but this guy is different.
Little by little, every day, there's something that he'll do. If it's during batting practice or in the game, that will make you go, wow. And he has that factor. And not a lot of us are blessed with it, but we're blessed with seeing him day after day.
Well, Perez told me he loves how raw Stanton is, how he's just a student of the game, and every single day he's learning something new. In fact, Perez said he's walking through his hotel where the Seattle Seahawks are staying while they're playing the Denver Broncos this weekend, and he sees all these guys that are like 6'7", just as tall as Stanton is. He's wondering if he can get a couple of them to come out to batting practice and try out, and I'm sure, Drew, the Seahawks are thinking the same thing about Stanton.
Well, Southern Cal, as you know, Jenny, wanted him to play football for them. I'm sure he would have excelled in that sport as well. Marlins are happy he chose baseball. Rockies and Miami. Come on back to 20th and Blake with us. Toyota moving forward by CenturyLink. Fast speed and a low monthly price. Visit CenturyLink.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at Southwest.com.
Well, every game and a lot of ball games here at Coors Field, they bring a lot of kids out of the stands, and you get to be a part of it. This young man wanted Ozzy's autograph, and then Ozzy said, no, wait a minute, stay here a minute. We got something for you. Here, wait a minute, let me give you some of this. Here's some sunflower seeds. Here's some gum. And wait a minute, I got to get on the field. I got to go. No, wait a minute, we got to get you some more gum. No, hold on, don't drop any. We're going to make everything right for you right here. You came over to the Marlins dugout. We're going to put you in a Marlins jersey to go out. Well, no, that wouldn't look right. So Ozzy's like, you know what? You just stay here with me for a while. I'm not going to let you go Now they come out and wind him down. You got to look good when you go on the field. Can't look bad. Got to straighten everything out. Gary Thurman taking care of that part. Then they come over to get him, and Ozzy's like, no, oh, no, wait a minute. He's got stuff he's got to carry. He doesn't have anywhere to carry it. Well, okay, you want to go out there? All right, go ahead. I'm gonna let you go this one time, and I'm going to let you go out to shortstop, which he did. And Ozzy finally let him take up. And a fun moment and a fun guy at the ballpark.
Yeah, you know what? That kid will never forget. Ozzy Guillen held on to me, wouldn't let me go take the field. That's great. There's Brian Peterson. He'll lead things off for Ozzy tonight. Here's the rest of the Southwest batting order. He'll be followed by Gorkys Hernandez. He had a couple hits last night. First time in his young big league career he can say that. Jose Reyes has one hit in the series, but it was a whopper, a 3-run home run yesterday. Lee doubled in a run last night. We talked all about Mr. Stanton. Rob Brantley, Donovan Solano, Gil Velasquez. Been struggling with his name. And the pitcher, of course, Nathan Eovaldi. On the hill is Tyler Chatwood.
4 start, 3-2, 428 earned run average. His last 3 pretty special. 2-1, 126 earned run average. Why? Well, he's bought into this. He's pounding the strike zone. And confidence is one of the best things you could have as a pitcher. And right now, Tyler Chatwood has a lot of confidence in his fastball, almost 67% of the time. Curveball, slider, change mix. He uses the slider for his strikeout pitch.
Here's the 1-1. And it's down the left field line. It'll be a base hit. That's the first hit of the series for Peterson. Past a diving Jordan Pacheco.
They're at grass level, but leadoff guy with a little bit of speed. So it really cuts down on your range and reaction to the baseball. And that shot right by Pacheco.
Rockies defensively have Eric Young in left field. More on why he's playing left tonight in one moment. Dexter Fowler, Tyler Colvin, Pacheco, Rutledge, LeMahieu, Kadire at first. Rosario's behind the plate. After the ball game last night, you see Charlie Blackmon. He is up because Carlos Gonzalez learned his grandfather passed away in Venezuela. He was placed on the bereavement list, and Cargo is back home in Venezuela, traveling today, and he will rejoin the club Tuesday in New York. So Cargo is gone for tonight's ball game, tomorrow's game, and Monday, and we'll see on Tuesday. So Charlie Blackmon, who has battled foot and toe injuries the last year plus, is back in the big leagues, and he deserves to be back. He's really been swinging it well in Colorado Springs.
Yeah, very well, playing all 3 outfield positions.
One and one on Hernandez. Inside, 2-1. So Chatwood has really put together 2 very good starts, and actually over the 3 ball games he started since his return from Tulsa, in 14 and a third innings, he's allowed just 2 earned runs, 9 hits.
Well, one of the things Dan O'Dowd wanted him to do by sending him back to AA is get confidence in your stuff. Go dominate a league that you had dominated 2 years previously when you were a member of the Arkansas Travelers Ball Club with the Angels organization, and then bring that confidence back to the big leagues. And because of an opening where they needed a starter, and it was his turn in Tulsa, with the luck be with him. He came in and did a great job, and he has thrown the ball extremely well in those last 2 starts.
And that's going to be a base hit to right. Colvin's got the baseball, and it's first and second, nobody out for Jose Reyes. I was talking to Dan earlier about Tyler Chatwood. He said he's very proud of the progress that he's made. It's not easy, George, and even though he's a young kid, I mean, last year he was in the big leagues with the Angels for a long time. 25
starts last year for Chatwood. I mean, I think that says an awful lot for it. There was 10 of those starts out of the that he made at the big league level that they didn't score a run for him. So the record's a little deceiving. 6-11 overall a year ago, an earned run average. I think what he discovered is pitching to contact, throwing strikes. That's what he did in Tulsa when I watched 2 or 3 of his AA starts.
Reyes offered at it. You know, there's some similarities tonight, George, thinking about this, between Jose Reyes, who had a little bit of time in 2010 with the Mets hitting in the 3-hole. Now the last month he's been hitting there. And Dexter Fowler, who's new to that 3 spot, in that these guys are really top of the order guys, so they'll bunt in this situation.
Yeah, they'll do some things to advance the runners forward, and now all of a sudden the head 0-2. That time a very good changeup at 81. Well, you know, it's Mr. Guillen will do some different things and try to get the most out of his lineup when he can. And right now, with it beat up the way it is, I mean, he's got some guys at the top that are hitting below 200, although they got a couple of base hits to lead off the inning here. Going to a little more veteran presence with Reyes and Lee.
Well, last night's home run was somewhat of a game changer, though the Rockies did rally initially from it. Watch Carlos Gonzalez here. He almost made the great catch over the wall, but once he had the arm jar against the wall, the ball shook free. And a line drive, base hit to center field. Dexter's going to get to the baseball. Peterson gets a green light. Here's the throw to the plate. It is cut off. 3 straight singles against Chatwood here in the opening frame, and it's 1-0 Miami.
Well, and remember where this pitch was. He looked very foolish on a changeup at 81 miles an hour. Came back with a fastball away, and then went back to the changeup. Now let's look at the location of this changeup. It's out over the plate, but about a belt high and a couple of clicks faster. So by being in that position on the plate, it became a hittable pitch. And Tyler Chatwood will fight that at times, being 5'10", to continue to have that downward plane into the zone. At times it can get flat, basically because you stand on that same plane all the way to the plate with your glove.
Now Carlos Lee at the plate. Chatwood hunting a ground ball. Strike 1 at 94. Home plate umpire is the crew chief, Jerry Lane. Jerry's been in this game for more than a quarter century. Good umpire. In fact, he was the crew chief in the World Series last year.
Well, Chris Nelson fan in the stands here tonight at Coors Field.
Yep.
A lot of these young players, you're starting to see their jerseys pop up with their success at the big league level.
Here's the 1-1. Got a good view of the action too. Oh, the Cowboys brothers here, George.
Yeah, well, the cowboy hat's kind of keeping him from seeing home plate pretty easy. So he's kind of tilting side to side here to get to play.
This ball's ripped toward left center, but Young gets over and makes a catch. We're off the bat, George. I didn't think that was going to end well.
Ball was hit extremely hard. All fastballs to Lee, trying to run the sinker and create a double play. Ball got a little elevated. You got to have a little luck in this game. See where that ball's coming across home plate area. I mean, it's right here about belt level on Carlos Lee. Not where you want to throw it.
1 out, a run in. Gorkis Hernandez is at second and Jose Reyes at first. Giancarlo Stanton at the plate. He's played 5 games at Coors Field in his career. He's hit a home run in each of the 5. Rockies trying to end that streak tonight. You know, last night he got a slider from Josh Reneke and he hit it a mile or close to it. 474 feet. 4th longest home run in the big leagues this year. Well, that's 6 games here, and he hit that one up on the concourse.
That one may have bounced out of the ballpark, Drew. Went right between the buildings.
And it's a 4-run first for the Marlins, and that is a new major league record. Never has a player before in his first 6 games in a ballpark hit a home run in all 6. Never happened before until now. And And it's ridiculous. They're not wall scrapers, Frage.
Well, when I wanted to see fastball if it got in on his hands. He's taken a couple of breaking balls out of the ballpark. This time 95 miles an hour. Track this ball, folks. Hits on the concourse, and I don't think it stayed in the yard. I think it went out between the buildings.
And that did leave the yard. It took that hop, and as George described, and it found its way to a parking lot.
Look at those hands and the muscle get in on that ball. Man, oh man, what a nice swing. I mean, I hate to say that about an opposing player just for the simple reason that dadgummit. I mean, that was pretty phenomenal. 95 and in the middle half in. Bye-bye. Look at that guy in the blue shirt. See him standing right there with his hands up? Look at him. Really? I was coming up here to get an ice cream cone. The last guy I saw hit a ball like that up there, Drew, was in, I want to say 98 when Sammy Sosa hit one, and they actually had me out of the booth in the broadcast with a wireless. And I was standing out there, and, you know, Sammy and the McGuire thing and the chase was going on. And he hit it out there, and I was mauled by I had a glove, about 200 people. I was like, you all can have it. And it went up underneath one of those carts out there. And I mean, it was like a mad dash scramble and fights on to get to the baseball. It hit off the scoreboard.
We haven't gotten a distance yet on that one other than really far.
I'm going to say 455 because it was down the line. I was shy, a little heavy. 448. But it sounded louder than that.
448, and again, folks, it's where it lands. They have a whole grid, so where it lands is still elevated by, from field level, probably 30 feet or at least somewhere in that neighborhood. That's in jeopardy. Our Toyota Tundra up there at 485 feet. So it's been a rough first inning for Tyler Chatwood. Rob Brantley just walked, and Donovan Solano's at the plate. That's what they talk about, different sound. Chance for two. Good feed. Nice job turning it over. Well, the Rockies have some catching up to do. Tyler Chatwood touched up for 4 runs. Stanton a 3-run blast. Will try to counter. They'll begin things with Eric Young Jr. That's a good place to start. He's got a multi-hit game in 11 of his last 15. The rest of the Southwest batting order for Jim Tracy. Josh Rutledge will bat second. Dexter Fowler will be in the 3 spot. Then Kadire, Rosario, Colvin, Pacheco, LeMahieu, and the pitcher Chatwood. On the hill, Nathan Uvalde. We've known this name for a while. One of the better prospects for the Dodgers. Hard throwing 22-year-old.
Yeah, great big arm. 15 start, 3-8, 428 earned run average, 4-10 in his overall career. A lot like Tyler Chatwood, except he relies more on the slider than the curveball for the swing and miss pitch. Fastball 67% of the time. Again, a young kid with a strong arm and born in a very, very good town with a bunch of famous guy there named Nolan Ryan in Alvin, Texas. You talk about pace of the game, and this is a young man that will turn up the pace. He likes to get it going quick.
Reyes has to get it across the diamond quickly to get Eric Young. Rockies have seen him in the past. They've seen him, in fact, this year.
Yeah, June 3rd this year, he went 5 2/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, only 2 earned, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. They lost the ball game 3-2.
Rutledge takes strike one.
Pretty heavy sinker at 96. That had a lot of late movement on the baseball.
Baldy was an 11th round pick by the Dodgers.
He's a projection guy. Yeah, I mean, he probably threw 92, 93, not a lot of strikes, had secondary stuff, was okay. I can imagine if a scout went to watch the arm action, he would think a little bit of a hook and jab on the backside. So there's some things there that maybe bothered you about it that made him go back a little bit farther as far as the draft's concerned. But you can't ignore the big arm, and it's at 96.
3-1 on Rutledge. He does have bouts of control issues. 3-2. Walked 6 in a ball game with Miami already. Last game he lost 4-0 to the Phils. 5 innings, gave up 3 runs, 2 earned, 8 hits. Struck out 2, walked 3. Here's the 3-2. And Rutledge hits this ball in the air towards Stanton. 2 outs. Who wants tacos? Remember, when the Rockies score 7 or more during any game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 and get your Rockies taco special. We have a special guest coming up next half inning, and we invite you to listen in more intently. Jim McElwain, the head football coach at Colorado State, will be sitting down with us for a little while. Dexter Fowler fouls it off. Haven't looked at Miami defensively. Brian Peterson in left, Hernandez in center, Stanton in right. Reyes and Solano make up the double play combination. Velasquez and Lee on the corners, with Rob Brantley making his 3rd career start. Oh, 2 the count. Evaldi was signed to play with the Aggies. He's going to go to College Station to play for Texas A&M, but signed with the Dodgers. And he went around. Evaldi with a good start. The out recorded at first base. 4-0 Miami through 1 inning of play. Jim McElwain, the head coach of Colorado State, when we return. bars and all the back streets here in Colorado?
I am. What a great place to be, and what a wonderful state. And having recruited here back in the early '90s, it has grown a little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah. But you got to love the weather. You got to love the weather, and as you know, because you spent a lot of time out west, this is a great place to spend an evening outside and catch a ball game. But it is also, you talked about the growing population numbers. It's become, even though population-wise not huge, become a pretty good football state.
It really has, and you know what? There's a lot of good players in this state, and the high school coaching is really good as well. And it's something that we need to do, is we need to tap in and not let all these guys leave the state and keep them right here in Colorado.
Now, you were having great success, obviously, at Alabama, and you've had great success in your career. Going back, what was the strong appeal to going back to Fort Collins and trying to resurrect a program that really had it going under Sonny Lubick, and Steve Fairchild struggled a little bit for various reasons, but just 9 wins in the last 3 years?
Well, I mean, for myself growing up in Montana, and being around when Sonny had this thing rolling, this is a great place. Colorado State's a wonderful university and a great town to live, and it has been done. He was winning when a lot of these teams that are now kind of upstarts, he was the first one to kind of get it going. So seeing that, building back on the history and bringing that back, there's a lot of great things at CSU, and you know what? I think it's one of those deals where we have a chance to be great.
Well, one of the hot button topics, and I don't know how much you can comment on it, is the football stadium issue. And Tony Frank, the president of Colorado State University, has a difficult decision to make. Do you try to upgrade Hughes Stadium, which is a few miles off campus, or build a facility on campus? I'm unabashed. I can tell you my opinion. I'd like to see it on campus, having done a number of games at Hughes Stadium. As this ball's punched to left field, so 2 men aboard. That's Evaldi or Peterson getting the second hit of the ball game. I believe that would help this program grow. I think it also, my wife's an alum, it's nice to be able to take your kids up and say, hey, I had class here, that was my dorm, as opposed to being a few miles off campus.
Well, having been around the country at a lot of different places, you can really see not only the football Saturdays, but I'm talking the 200 times around the year that people use it for corporate meetings. People come on campus to visit, to take a look at the stadiums, and actually bring people right into Fort Collins and onto campus and see what a wonderful place it is. And whatever the decision is, I do believe it's something that'd be great for the community, great for CSU, great for our alums, and really give us kind of something to polarize everybody.
Good deal. Well, you have a quarterback that's real athletic, Garrett Grayson. I know he's grown a lot from spring ball. What are your expectations as he takes the reins really for the first time?
Well, I think the biggest thing is we were able to go through spring and now a couple weeks at camp and really fit kind of the offense to the things that he does well. I think one thing in coaching that's important is to be able to fit what you do to your players' strengths. And in this case, Grayson does have really good feet. He throws well on the move. He can make some people miss in the open field. And so we've got to do some things to make sure that he's successful at that.
Now, who's ahead right now? Offensively, are you a little bit ahead, or defensively a little bit ahead?
No, let's say the kicking game. How's that? No, but we've got a ways to go. But I've got to tell you what, I've got a wonderful group of young men, and I'm really excited to say I'm their head ball coach. I'm proud of them. I'm proud of the effort they're putting in, and we're asking a lot out of them, and they're responding.
Jim, you have a lot of ties, obviously, to the southeastern corridor of the country. And the last time I checked, they crank out a lot of talented kids, and they all can't go to Tuscaloosa or Auburn, Alabama. Will you utilize the ties you have with high school coaches in that part of the country?
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been fortunate to have recruited a lot of different areas around the country, and you build relationships, and recruiting itself is really all about relationships, and we've obviously got some strong ones in the South, so we'll go down there and tap that market a little bit.
Well, can I tell you about one of your misses, Jim? And I don't mean I'll put you on the spot here, but you see the young man he's getting ready to put he put a hat on already. He's getting ready to come out on deck. Giancarlo Stanton.
I didn't miss on that one.
Almost 6'8", 250, and I think he's got like a 32-inch waist.
Well, and to see how he, oh, there we go.
Reyes down the left field line, and that's going to score 2. And it gets past Eric Young. Reyes on his way to third. And the Marlins have a 6-0 early lead. But that kid Stanton, you probably are aware, SC wanted him to play tight end.
Exactly. No, he's a national recruit, and obviously an unbelievable athlete. And to see how he got through that ball, wow. He got all of it. And imagine having six in a row in the last 6 games.
He's played 6 games here.
I mean,
and he's hit 6 home runs, and none of them, as I like to say, are wall scrapers.
That's right.
The last one ended up in a parking lot. You're not supposed to be able to hit it in a parking lot at a stadium. You can do that at a high school field. Shouldn't happen at a stadium.
Well, I will say, the couple times I was able to play golf this summer, there is a difference in the elevation. How's that? Than playing at sea level.
Well, you know what? That assists him some, but he still hit those really, really far. And this is going to get the Rockies off the field. Coach, it's great to see you.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we wish you all the luck in the world this year and in coming years. And hopefully the stadium gets done up in Fort Collins, and a lot of good things ahead for the Rams.
Thank you very much.
Jim McElwain, head football coach at Colorado State. 6-0 Miami. As we go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. So Tyler Chatwood has already given up 7 hits, as Michael Kadire will lead things off in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Again, our thanks to Jim McElwain, new head coach at Colorado State, bringing a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of optimism for Rams fans. We bring back George Frazier.
Hi, buddy.
How are you?
Good. I went down to the radio booth, bothered everybody that could.
Why does that not surprise?
And it worked.
Yeah. By the way, that Reyes ball down the line, just because of the way it came off the wall, was scored a triple, so it's a 2-run triple. Now, George, a little disappointing in that Chatwood had been so good the last couple of starts, and you're looking for him to, continue that trend, and they got a crooked number on the board against him.
Yeah, and it happened quick, and I think a lot of fastballs, maybe misplaced fastballs, not in the strike zone. And here's a walk to Kadire. You mentioned earlier about Evaldi and his control, and can leave him at times, and it did.
Colorado, take a look at the road ahead, powered by your Colorado Hyundai dealer. Step up to the plate, get more miles per gallon with the hottest car line in America, Hyundai.
Rockies will play tomorrow afternoon. We're on the air on Root Sports at 12:30 against the Marlins, and then it is off to New York. The Rockies open up a 4-game set with the Mets. And we'll have the first 3 on Root Sports. Thursday afternoon's affair, which is really a morning affair back home here, will not be televised. Breaking ball misses ball 1 on Willeen Rosario. This season, save responsibly when you shop at your Colorado Hyundai dealers. Check it out at coloradohyundai.com.
Dodgers in the 6th over Atlanta, 3-1. San Francisco first inning right now. Zito's on the hill for them.
They challenged at 96. Rockies have scored at least 5 runs in 6 consecutive games. They're 4-1 on this homestand.
Tell you what, I don't remember Eovaldi's ball being that explosive at 95, 96 miles an hour. I mean, it gets on you in a hurry with that delivery. 2 elevated fastballs, one of them out of the zone, swung and missed on a 1-2 count.
Strike 3. Caught him looking on a breaking ball, and Rosario is gone. 1 out in the 2nd.
Well, really not so much a slider as it was more of a curveball type action at 85 miles an hour, but that was received by Brantley very, very well.
Tyler Colvin will step up. Join in on the conversation with Toyota Talk. Text Toyota to 720-720. We'll take your questions and comments in the 6th inning. And if you text right now, you'll be entered to win a 1-year family membership to the Denver Zoo, so you can see the new Toyota Elephant Passage exhibit.
By the way, I want the people in South Carolina that were hunting for a name for their baby, let us know if you came up with something from last night.
Yeah, please.
I know you didn't like the Drew George thing or the George Drew thing, so maybe Todd or Tyler or Jordan. You know, I'm throwing some names out there for you, but let us know what you settled in on.
See, if it was a girl, but they're having a son. If it was a girl, I've always been partial to Savannah. It's that part of the country.
See, I like that.
You like that?
I like that. Savannah, the most haunted city in America.
It is?
Yes.
You watch too much television.
No, you need to watch those shows. They're good for you.
1 and 2. Oh, you know what? You're going to be in 7th heaven this week, aren't you? Because you can get to read the Post, the Daily News.
I'm so excited.
Every day.
I do. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the Big Apple.
And he even gets to the sports section eventually.
Eventually.
1-2 on Colvin, and this is chopped right back to Eovaldi. Pretty good feed by a pitcher.
Well, that was a great exchange right there. I mean, normally you have a little bit of a crow hop. You get your feet under you. I'll tell you what, Eovaldi did a good job right here fielding this baseball. Watch when he gets off the mound, already starting to turn the body, and then just a snap throw to second base. That ball doesn't get extended hardly at all. I mean, and that was a very, very good feed to Reyes. I didn't think he had a shot at the lead runner when that started.
And Kadire never slid. I thought he was just going to, like a linebacker, tackle Jose Reyes. Here's Jordan Pacheco. You know, that Dodger deal with the Marlins where Hanley Ramirez goes to LA, and in return they get, and also, by the way, pretty good left-hander veteran Randy Choate goes, and they get Eovaldi, a young guy with a big arm, and an A-ball pitcher back. And you say, man, that doesn't seem like a whole lot for a guy of Ramirez's stature, even though he has struggled for a year and a half. Former batting champion, big power, et cetera, et cetera. maybe the key element of that whole deal, George, is the Dodgers took every penny of the contract.
Sure, and I'm sure it was, but they've got some deep pockets right now, and they gave some back. We'll take all the money, but you're going to have to give us this. And the one thing about it with this Eovaldi kid throwing 95, 96, touch 97 at times, can he become another Josh Johnson? If what you'll see tomorrow, big strong right-hander with the ball in the mid-90s. This is still a very, very young player.
That's in there, 2-2. Ramirez had around $40 million left on his deal. He's been swinging the bat well for the Dodgers.
It's a lot like the Marlins said. They needed to change the scenery from him, and he needed one from them.
Yeah.
And, you go out to the West Coast, you're in a situation maybe it does get bad.
Not the most popular Miami Marlin in the clubhouse, and maybe the evidence of that was the other day when they played in South Florida. LA goes in there. First time Hanley sees his old teammates. It's not been that long. Nobody came over evidently and greeted him. This ball to the gap, and the layout catch is made by Stanton. That saved a run as he robs Pacheco of at least a double, perhaps a triple. What hasn't he done? Warned by home plate umpire Jerry Lane not to hit the ball that far because they only have so many baseballs. Stanton with a 3-run home run if you're late to the game, and he takes a breaking ball for a strike, and again it was a monster shot.
It was to the concourse and then to the parking lot. That ball left the yard completely. Showing an awful lot of power and a lot of pop here, taking advantage of some mistakes by Tyler. Tyler had been special, 128 earned run average the previous 2 starts.
We've been told that the ball found a resting place, George, up against a fence in the players' parking lot.
I thought maybe it made it over the Amtrak tracks.
He was heading in that direction. 1-2 on Stanton. Greg Norton, former Oklahoma Sooner, former Colorado Rocky on a couple of occasions, had a long career in the big leagues, primarily as a guy coming off the bench. Norton managed the last couple of years the New Orleans Zephyrs. He had Stanton in the minor leagues. And he told some great stories to me before the ball game about Stanton and just how studious he is. He would work in the cage and just track, for instance, on sliders off the machine not swing at him, just track him, track him, track him, so he could find a point where he saw that pitch was off the plate and I shouldn't be firing at it. He fires at that slider, and Chatwood gets the strikeout on it. But this is not just a kid who has unbelievable physical gifts. He works at it as well. For more, let's check in with Jenny.
Hey, Drew, I'm with Victoria. This is Eric Young Jr.'s fiance, part of the Wives Grab Bag, the annual Wives Grab Bag, where fans can pay $40, get a paper bag, and any sort of signature could be inside, right?
Definitely. You can get Jason Giambi, Troy Tulowitzki, and then we go as far as new as Jordan Pacheco, Chris Frederick, Josh Rutledge is even in there. And then we also have the opportunity of getting some all-star players who have visited our ballpark. So today someone got Matt Cain. We've had also given away Seth Smith's bat today, and Aaron Cook's jersey is also a giveaway today.
This is such a great cause. You guys do it every year. It's really fun. The fans get excited, get into it. You never know what kind of memorabilia you can get from this. But what I really want to ask you is about these smoothies that your fiance has been drinking and how impressive his at-bats have been. I mean, what's it like at home? He seems so cool, calm, collected at the field.
At home, it's just the same thing. We wake up, he has a smoothie, he has a little breakfast to go along with it. He does not eat Wheaties. Everyone is asking about that. We do not eat Wheaties. We're an Apple Jacks and Fruit Loops type of people right now. But he eats about a smoothie a day in the afternoon and one in the morning.
Now, you said you've tasted them, but you haven't gotten on the smoothie track yet.
I am not on the smoothie track quite yet. I'm adjusting to it. So eventually I'll have a green smoothie.
You also don't have to hit base hits and home runs, so you're okay there. Well, Victoria, thanks, and congratulations on another successful year. Drew, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Jenny, thank you. George is on a smoothie diet. I converted him not too long ago.
I tried them. They're okay.
Yeah, you and EY bringing your own blenders
They're all right.
on the road?
They're just okay. I'm still more the coffee iced tea guy.
Yeah. 2 outs. Donovan Solano will come up. First 2 punch outs of the ball game for Chatwood. He gave up 4 in the first and 2 in the second. Oh, and 2 on Solano.
Doesn't even look like the same guy that pitched the first 2 innings of this ball game. Better command of the breaking ball, utilizing the breaking ball, and he'll utilize it again here. Hard slider at 83, down and away.
A lot of stuff, George, at the upper thigh and above in the first couple of innings.
And you look now, just like when he pitched to Stanton, when he went up, he came in off the plate above the hands, and then he went down and away with the hard breaking ball stuff. And again, it's a little bit of school and process, what's going on here in the teaching process for Tyler Chatwood. He's showing him slider away, and if he went fastball away right now, I think he'd blow him up. That's what Wayleen wanted to try to do. Tyler's going back to the slider. You know, one of the things that Jerry Weinstein, who works with Wayleen on a daily basis, is making sure with nobody on base, keep your same stance together. See how things are tight there, fastball inner half? Because when you get against veteran managers like a Bruce Bochy, a Bud Black, a Don Mattingly, they look for ways to have an advantage with nobody on. Ozzie Guillen obviously at the top of that list also, and they look for an advantage. So when you call a breaking ball, you try to keep your same stance as you would on the fastball. The reason being, obviously, a little whistle out of the dugout or come on Drew lets him know that a breaking ball's coming because you see the wider stance, as you see here. And a curveball up in the strike zone. Had nothing to do with Waylene's setup. It had to where the pitch was thrown.
So Solano a 2-out single, and that'll bring up Velasquez.
Get discounts and scoreboard recognition when you grab a group of 25 friends and head out to the yard. So do that. The Rockies will be back home after they take the short trip up to New York and Chicago. 303 Rockies for more information.
One and 0 on Gil Velasquez.
On the other side of that, with the different setups behind the plate, you can really screw up a ball club, take a wide stance with a fastball versus the breaking ball and see what happens. Ball get by him in a heartbeat.
Nice play with the bare hand by Jordan Pacheco. You either grab it with the bare hand or you don't. The only chance to make that play. $40 per grab bag. Get him on the concourse. 6-0 Marlins. Trivia question. Stanton has hit 6 home runs in 6 straight games at Coors Field. What's the record for consecutive games with a home run at a single park? LeMahieu on the ground to Reyes. One out in the bottom of the 3rd. That'll bring up Chatwood. Rockies fell yesterday 6-5 despite having 12 hits in the game and snapped their 4-game winning streak. Hitting .311 in the month of August. That's the highest mark in the National League. Reyes kind of has, George, that low 3/4, and he whips it across the diamond. He's got a good arm.
Let's take a look at the farm report. This is something we try to do on a weekly basis. And guess what, folks? There's a lot of teams in this organization that are very close to getting into the playoffs. 2 have already there. Drillers in Asheville are in. Modesto's got a 3-game lead in the second half of the Cal League. The Colorado Springs Sky Sox, they are 5 games back. Tri-Cities 5 back. And Grand Junction just 3 back in the Pioneer League, and in the Dominican just a half a game back. Jeff Bradich, first year, along with Zach Wilson, have done a tremendous job there of running the farm system. But also, I want to point out something to the fans at home. Look at the overall record, 334, 289, second in baseball to the Houston Astro organization. and turn around there. And now all of a sudden this ball club is, as you can see, a lot of their teams very close to getting into the playoffs. I mentioned Asheville and Tulsa are in. They are first half winners. But then Asheville, just phenomenal record, 77-40, as they entered tonight's play, and they were leading 3-0 against Greenville at home last time I checked. But you know, Drew, probably the most difficult place to manage in a system is the AAA levels. Stu Cole and that staff down there have lost a pitching coach. Bo came to the big leagues. McLaughlin, Butch Hughes stepped in, and a 2-out walk to Ewire. Excuse me, yes, a 2-out walk to Ewire. They have stepped in, but because it is such a transit level where you get guys bouncing between the big leagues and back, injuries, guys getting hurt. So Stu Cole and that bunch there, Dwayne Espy, Dave Schuler, Mike Riggins has done a nice job there in the Tulsa area. So Lenny Sakata, first-year manager of Modesto, done a very good job along with Darryl Scott. So it's all good. Joe Mikulik doing it down in Asheville again.
And a line shot off the bat of Rutledge right at Velasquez. Rockies have had just a couple of base runners in this game, still without a hit as we go to the fourth, trailing 6-zip.
How about this one? I water skied this afternoon. Drew Goodman left about 2 innings ago, and he jumped out of an airplane. He's got the game ball. He's taking, look at this free fall. Is that not cool? Free falling out of an airplane, taking the game ball over to the Broncos game tonight. As you'll see this parachute start to come open, and he's hoping it comes open as he heads on in too. The football stadium over there to drop off that ball.
See, I was okay because that's why I went in slow motion in case the chute didn't open, George.
Really? What were you going to do then?
Well, I was going in slow motion, so it was okay.
But if the chute didn't open, what were you going to do?
On my PF Flyers. Nathan Uvalde at the plate. He had a base hit his first time up. 1-1 the count on Uvalde.
You know, we talked about him being an 11th round draft pick, talking about Nathan Uvalde out of Alvin, Texas. Part of the reason behind that, Tommy John surgery that was not fully recovered after his junior year in high school. Now, Tyler Chatwood had it his junior year, obviously recovered, was a first round draft pick by the Angels. Uvalde had not shown that till late.
Here's Chatwood's 2-2. He misses 3-2. And he strikes out Uvalde.
Third strikeout of the ball game, 1 out in the 4th inning. Rockies fans, Root Sports has launched a new interactive second screen experience. It's called Game Connect. You'll get live game stats, including play-by-play and all head-to-head stats, and you can dig deeper, or all kinds of different matchup pages on there. And you can also chat with other fans in Game Talk. If you like interacting, visit rootsports.com/Rocky Mountain now to connect. Brian Peterson, without a hit in the first 2 games of this series, is 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored so far this evening. And a ground ball to short. Easy play for Rutledge. 2 outs. That'll bring up Gorkys Hernandez. Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. Slider just off the plate. No, called strike. Hernandez is 1 for 2. Line drive, and EY can't reach it. Now he's got to chase it. Hernandez hunting a triple, and he'll arrive there easily. 2-out triple for Hernandez.
Now that thing, I'm not sure EY got a good read on that baseball for the angle that he took on the ball. What I mean by that, a lot of times you will see an outfielder take this type of an angle to go cut the baseball off. EY took straight across, then recognized later not going to get there, so that's when he had to make the chase to the outfield.
So now Jose Reyes will get the hit. Jose's been a pain in the you-know-what. RBI single in the first, 2-run triple in the second. He spits on the curveball, 1-0. Two and one on Jose Reyes. Good breaking ball, 2-2. Reyes is career high. This is kind of surprising. No, maybe not. I mean, he's always hit leadoff, but he's got pop. His career high in RBIs is 4, and that was set way back in 2003 in Anaheim. Actually, it's 5. 5 ribbies. Next pitch for Chatwood will be his 71st. And he should get out of it. Rutledge got to go quickly, and he does. Nice job setting his feet by Josh Rutledge. So Hernandez left at third after the triple, 6-0 Miami. Of the fourth inning, Rockies hunting their first hit of the night. Fowler, Kadire, and Rosario. AT&T trivia question: Giancarlo Stanton has 6 home runs in 6 games at Coors Field. What's the record for consecutive games with a home run in a single park? Well, the answer is 7. It's been done 3 times. And the guys who've done it: Barry Bonds, SBC Park is what is now AT&T Park. Willie Mays did it at Candlestick in '65, and Roy Campanella in his home park in the Brooklyn Dodger days of Ebbets Field. You know, I'm looking at this list. 6 has been done quite a few times. You know who's on the list twice? A former Rocky. You'll never get it, Frazier, so I'll help you out. Jeremy Burnitz. He hit a home run in 6 consecutive games at the old County Stadium when he was with the Brewers. He also did it at Coors Field in 2004.
He disappeared after a couple of big years here. The 1 year here, then didn't play a whole lot of baseball after that. Talking about Jeremy Burnitz, the former Met. Torres, the right-hander's up and throwing in the Rockies bullpen as Chatwood's pitch limit had reached.
Dante Bichette also did it here at Coors Field. That's pulled foul. Two and two on decks. Inside. Time for today's CenturyLink high-speed pitch. Fast speed and a low monthly price. Visit CenturyLink.com. 97 for Evaldi, 96 for Chatwood. Ball 4. So the only base runners allowed tonight. 3 walks by Evaldi. Michael Kadire will come up.
He walked in his only at bat also, as Dexter's at first. Leadoff walk. You trail 6-0, and we all know in this ballpark it's the bottom of the 4th, peck away. See what you can get accomplished.
And that's the first hit of the night. Fowler's going to go first to third.
Hitting the road? Well, subscribe to MLB.tv to take advantage of the new low pricing and see every Rockies out-of-market game online or on your favorite devices in HD quality when you're not at home.
Willeen Rosario struck out looking his first time. He got ahead with fastballs in. He struck him out with a slider, and he starts him out here with a slider in the 4th inning. 2 on and nobody out. Towering fly ball to shallow right. Stanton is going to come up firing naturally, and Fowler will not go as that ball wasn't hit deep enough. 1 out. Tyler Colvin will come up. Rocky Penn's going to have to eat up 5 innings tonight. Jeff Francis yesterday went 5, gave up 4 runs on 5 hits. Way inside, it's 2-0. This ball smoked right center field. 1 run is scored. Going to third base. And safe there is Kadire. Colvin with a double. 6-1.
329 average with runners in scoring position, and he got a hold of a high fastball at 91. They were trying to sink, and it tailed and stayed up, and he made it pay for it. Good hustle throw after falling down by Gorky Hernandez, right on the money. Colvin's heel right over the top of the glove. We'll look at it again on the Mike Shaw Subaru Super Mo. Foot's coming, ball's coming, out. Not sure Larry Vanover looked like he might have been blocked by Reyes as he made the pick and the tag.
Pacheco a chance to get the Rockies within 3. And this ball's driven to deep left field, way back, and it is a foul ball.
Oh boy, I thought that was going to stay fair long enough. It had a late hooked hook. Molino called it foul, which was the right call. Pacheco went up looking inner half, got it, tried to turn to keep it fair, and it just fouled by about a foot. That lady standing on the steps at foul pole about 3 feet away from the steps.
Pacheco hitting .364 with runners in scoring position, the 3rd best mark in the National League behind Alan Craig of the Cardinals and Joey Votto of the Reds. Dyer at 3rd, Colvin at 2nd. It's 1-1.
Yeah, you mentioned a minute ago about Torres eating up a little bit of the bullpen time down here in innings pitch. This is, you know, such an important role out of your bullpen, because now if you can maintain it and hold it and allow this offense to kick in. You mentioned how many runs they've been averaging in the last 4 or 5 ball games at home. Late game heroics. I mean, your job out of the bullpen now is just keep it close.
No swing, 2-2. And a line drive gloved by Carlos Lee. 2 outs. DJ LeMahieu with first base open. We'll see if they pass on him. But of course, Ozzy's got to know that the Rockies are going to be going to their bullpen. So
we had Charlie Blackmon out in the on-deck circle. He was called up here today as Carlos Gonzalez left to go to Venezuela to be with his family after his grandfather's passing. What was done today is placed on the bereavement list. Carlos Gonzalez was. Charlie Blackmon was playing very well. 303, 5 home runs, 34 RBIs. He's fought a lot of injuries in the last couple of years, but he's in the on-deck circle.
And again, the rule on the bereavement list is you have to miss at least 3 games.
And a maximum
3 and
of 7.
7. A maximum of 7. And from a travel standpoint, the good part of it, Carlos Gonzalez's perspective, is that flying back from Venezuela, it's much easier to get to New York. LeMahieu with an 0-1 count. (6-1) Marlins. Slider away, 1-1. DJ's been swinging the bat well. He's got the average over 300. Hit here would be huge. 2-2.
Got in trouble, all of a sudden pitching away from his fastball. Last 3 pitches, sliders, way out of the strike zone. LeMahieu, look at that, man. Last 10 days, as hot as the hottest hitter in baseball. 517 average.
A lot of young players swinging a bat. Here's the 2-2. 3-2. Carlos Lee, an easy play. Well, the Rockies got a run. They had an opportunity to get more than that. 6-1 as we go to the 5th. Chris Nelson comes in a double switch, and it's kind of what Jim Tracy has to do with the piggyback affair. When you bring in the second guy, you want to, especially if you're behind, you want to be able to have the pitcher have some length and not hit for a while. So Torres comes in for Chatwood, and LeMahieu's out of the ball game.
Torres 29 innings so far, 16 walks, 20 strikeouts. The opponents hit just 222 against him. That wonderful July month. He was totally off the charts. I mean, just 3 hits given up in the month of July. Last couple of ball games got a little tougher for him. Start out with the middle of this lineup with Carlos Lee.
Lee, Stanton, and Brantley. Lee is 0 for 2. A line out and a comebacker and a base hit. Time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. Stanton has done it again. First time up, facing Tyler Chatwood. He got a fastball in, and he got the barrel on it. Did he ever? Ended up on the concourse briefly. It ended up resting in the Rockies players parking lot. So he's played 6 games at Coors Field, and he's hit a monstrous home run in all 6. There was another drill Greg Norton was telling me that he would do. They'd turn up a machine to about 100 miles an hour, George, just so the players could track. And then once they tracked it for a while, they would. This is a tremendous pop up. Nelson's got his hand up, and he's got it. And then they would just spread out and use your hands. Coming out of a machine, it's very hard to find the timing mechanism, so they just use their hands. And Norton said he was unbelievable. He and Hanley Ramirez, not surprisingly, with that drill. But then slowly what he would do once he got comfortable is move closer to the machine. So now he's doing it at a shorter and shorter distance, just working on hand quickness. So it's not an accident this kid is having the kind of success he is. Rob Brantley, a walk and a strikeout. Brantley got his first big league hit in his start against the Rockies on Thursday. It was a double to right. Chatwood goes 4 innings. He allows 6 runs. All of them earned 9 hits, a walk and 3 strikeouts. One and 2 on Brantley, the catcher for the Marlins.
Well, the young catcher, as I mentioned in the first telecast of this series, he played on a team with the Salt River Raptors, which is in the Arizona Fall League. The Rockies are also part of that same ball club. You have 7 players from 5 different organizations, and at the time he was with the Detroit Tigers. Shared catching duties with Jason Castro, the starting catcher, now on the DL with the Houston Astros. They ended up winning the Arizona Fall League Championship.
Two.
Good slider. Put it right in a pretty good position. Good little hard cutter down underneath the hands.
Brantley's out number 2.
It's all about the rotation on this baseball and making sure you get the ball down into that bottom half of the strike zone and under the bat of a left-hander. When you see a guy with a great big swing like that follow through, that pitch works well.
Donovan Solano at the plate. He's 1 for 2. Grounded into a double play and also a base hit. That's on the inside corner for a strike. Wide. Ball and a strike on Solano. One, two.
Carlos Torres in the month of July, phenomenal. 12 innings, 1 hit in over 7 games, living in the bottom half of that strike zone. And then August rolled around, wasn't so kind to him. 11 innings pitched, 16 hits. He gave up 12 earned runs. But tonight, back in the bottom of that zone, and very, very good command of 2 pitches. That hard slider and good hard sinker in. Good job there by Willeen Rosario to block that baseball. Killed everything, kept it right out in front of him.
Two. Torres challenging with the fastball. Two outs, Carlos Lee at first. And that's on the ground to Pacheco. He dives, and they'll get the force going to Chris Nelson. Good inning for Torres. 6-1. Middle of 5. Class-defining style, revolutionary technology, Ford Edge. Go further. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by King Soopers, more value for the way you live. Chris Nelson will lead things off. Came in a double switch, 9-1 and 2 in the lineup. Eric Young Jr., Josh Rutledge to follow. The Rockies have been out hit 10-2. The 6 runs for the Marlins came in the first 2 frames. Nathan Uvalde misses again, and it's 2-0. Waldy's been up to 96 with the fastball. And the slider's fouled off. Punch to second, easy play for Solano. Eric Young Jr. coming up. Time now for today's Chevy's Dare to Compare. Chevy's full lineup of vehicles makes it a clear winner that the competition can't compare. Chevy, made for Colorado. Highest batting average since 1941. George Brett hit .390 in 1980. Ted Williams hit .388. Rod Carew .388. Walker hit .379 in '99. Helton hit .372 back in 2000. Stan the Man's .376 average. The last guy, of course, to hit .400 was Williams in 1941 when he hit .406. Ewi's got a 7-game hitting streak. He's 0 for 1 with a walk tonight.
And glanced over the shoulder, too, looking up the first base line at Carlos Lee. How deep are you playing?
No swing during the 7-game run. He's hitting .469, couple of home runs, 3 doubles, driven in 6 from the top of the lineup. Done everything. Got 29 hits since July the 31st.
Well, going into this after the All-Star break, Posey hitting .427, Worth .413, Eric Young .395.
Two on the ground to Jose Reyes. Well, that'll bring up Josh Rutledge. Rutledge, couple hits last night. Tonight, a fly ball to right field and a line shot, gloved by the third baseman, Velasquez. A reminder, Toyota Talk will come your way next inning. You know the drill. Text Toyota to 720-720. Questions, insights, comments, and you'll also be entered to win a 1-year family membership to the Denver Zoo. A ball and a strike on the rookie shortstop Josh Rutledge. Last night, 4 of the 5 runs driven in by the Rockies were driven in by rookies. Curveball in there.
He hasn't shown it much, but when he does, it's been very effective. About 10 miles an hour slower than his slider at 86 miles an hour. That last hook at 76. Here comes pitch number 80. Hard sinker, going to be tough on this one.
Reyes just bluffed the throw. There's no way you were going to get Rutledge. So it's an infield hit for Josh. And that'll allow Dexter to hit. Two-0 on Dexter. And that misses. 3-0 with Kadire on deck.
Work yourself into a big inning with 2 outs. 7 ground ball outs, just 3 strikeouts, 4 fly ball outs.
Setting with a 3-0 count. 2-0 2 outs in the inning. Infield single by Rutledge, and 3-1. It's a strike.
That's lifted to left center field for a base hit. Nice swing there. Controlled swing by Fowler. And now they're 2 on for Kadire.
Now that's what you're talking about. You're getting into the power side of this lineup. Kadire and Rosario, both with 16 and 19 respectively. You're 1 swing away from making this a very interesting ball game. All of it with 2 outs. Good pitch, good hitting.
On Michael. Kadire had the first hit for the Rockies, came last inning. Michael's hit 400 against the Marlins this year, 6 for 15. This is a fly ball to Stanton in right. Easy play, he's got it. And the Rockies will leave 2 on. We'll turn the page to inning number 6. Miami leading 6-1.
We're going to flash you back to the pregame. This is my good friend Blake. He's on the field thinking he's going to get some cool autographs. He just wants Ozzie Guillen's autograph. Who wouldn't? So he walks right over there, and Ozzie gets him in the death grip. Won't let him go. All the players are starting to pile up his hands with bubble gum and seeds and all sorts of fun things. So this is Blake. We found him all the way up here in the 300 section having fun at the game. You have a grin from ear to ear because you got Jordan Pacheco's autograph, Jim Tracy's autograph, and Ozzie Guillen's autograph. What did Ozzie say to you?
He said, you're going to stay here with me, and you're going to be a Marlins fans now, and the Rockies don't spoil you like we do, so be a Marlins fan.
So he's trying to convert you, Blake, but that did not work because this guy is wearing purple, and he is going to stay a Rockies fan, correct?
Correct.
But it was still a pretty cool experience, huh?
Yeah.
All right, Blake, thanks for joining us. So much fun. Drew George, has that ever happened to you? Come on, that's great.
You know what? That kid Blake could play a little baseball, too.
I bet Blake can play baseball. Where do you play? What position?
Shortstop.
Yep. There you go. Nailed it, Drew.
Yeah, well, I had inside information. Well, Ozzie tried. He failed, though. Here's the 1-1, and that misses on Velasquez, and it's a 2-1 count. Second inning of work for Carlos Torres in relief of Tyler Chatwood, who went 4 innings, gave up 6 runs on 9 hits. This is just the 15th big league game for Velasquez. He doesn't have a hit in the National League yet until now. You know how that works, right, George?
Absolutely.
Nice job by Colvin keeping that a single. That's a really nice job by Colvin. That big outfield. Velasquez had played a handful of games with the Angels and the Red Sox. And that's his first National League knock. 1,372 minor league games.
Good for him.
Yeah, perseverance paying off. Nate Eovaldi at the plate. That didn't work out too well, George. That bunt attempt.
No, it didn't. Well, everybody wants Troy back, and Troy's getting closer to go out on a rehab.
One and two. Come on, George, you know the technique. He's got to get the hands out, the bat out in front of his eyeballs, doesn't he?
Easier said than done. Guys throwing gas out there, throwing little circles and trinkles, but put the ball on the ground. That's all Ozzy's saying over there. I thought you were a National League guy. What are you hearing right now? Calls Mattingly and says, did you ever work with this guy on this stuff?
No. Eovaldi's gone. And that'll bring up Brian Peterson. Peterson's 2 for 3, couple singles, ground ball to short. Velasquez very conservative lead at first base. Now he stretches it out a little bit. 0-1. Tanner, glad to see Charlie Blackmon back in the show. And long road for Charlie. He was doing a good job last year with the Rockies, and he broke the foot around in second base in a game. He's having a good spring training, was completely healthy, and then he gets turfed up.
Wasn't a good year. Poor Charlie has had a lot of things going on. I want to look through those. Somebody go find that. Jenny, go find her and bring her up and let me look through her guy. We'll look through there. Those are awesome.
She got her glove. Perfect. One and two on Peterson. Looper, Rutledge can't get it. And Peterson with his third hit of the ball game. First and second with one out.
A good pitch by Torres. Got it where he wanted. Just jammed him, and he was able to flip it up into the outfield. So first and second now. You're starting to get that scary part of the lineup. Hernandez, Reyes, more Reyes, Lee, and Stanton.
Hernandez is 2 for 3, tripled his last time up, and that pitch is low, ball 1. That's in there. Cut on that fastball, 1-2. Triple was Gorky's first extra base hit of the season. See if they can turn 2. There's one on the first. Safe at first base. Nice job between Nelson and Rutledge up the middle. Jim Tracy thought he was out, enough so that he's going to go out and talk to Mike Estabrook.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think the reason why is because it was turned so cleanly. Rutledge got rid of the ball in a hurry. Estabrook's got the angle, got the right way to look at it. I'll tell you, tough tell from that angle. Let's look at it right here. This is the one that doesn't lie, folks. Wow. Out by about a half. Jimmy had an argument.
Half a spike. Two outs, and here's Jose Reyes. 2 for 3, 3 ribbies.
Looks first pitch fastball an awful lot, where the Rockies had some success tonight getting ahead in counts, not necessarily completing outs, was off-speed stuff early in counts to Jose Reyes.
6-1. The Rockies have been out hit 12-4. And to third, Pacheco with a good throw. So Carlos Torres gets out of a first and third situation. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th, 5-run deficit. guess who? Giancarlo Stanton. He hit another one. Yep. This one just 448 feet. Off the concourse, one hop into the players' parking lot. Second inning, Jose Reyes, who drove in a run in the first inning, didn't know where the baseball was, and ended up a triple in the corner, scoring 2. 6-0 at that point, and then Tyler Colvin with the Rockies on the board with the gapper. Dexter would score. That's the Rockies' only run against this man, Nathan Eovaldi. Willeen Rosario in the 6th inning, Colvin and Pacheco. And the fastball misses outside, ball 1 on Willeen, who's 0 for 2, strikeout, fly ball right field. He's had a good breaking ball. That's a sharp slider. It's a hard slider, and it's got depth.
I hadn't seen that much with the velocity and depth the way he's had it. That's a pretty good analogy there, because that's a very difficult slider to hit.
Stick around after the ball game tonight for Rockies All Access. Get to know the next group of top talent. That includes, among others, Josh Rutledge, Willeen Rosario, George Pacheco. You'll hear from them all on Rockies All Access Generation Next. That's tonight, right after the ball game. This ball spoke to left center field. One hop off the wall. It's going to be a double for Rosario.
Fastball up out over the plate at 94 miles an hour. Swung twice at sliders. Brantley wanted to go back to the fastball, convinced Eovaldi, and Rosario made him pay for it in left center field with a double, hit sharply up against the wall. Now into scoring position in a 6-1 ball game. The Rockies have been out hitting this game 12-5.
Colvin has one of the hits, and as we just showed you, he has the only RBI, a double in his last at bat. And this is a blooper. You never know. Get back making the play, Solano. That'll bring up Pacheco. The pitcher spot is on deck.
Charlie Blackmon back out again. Well, get your tickets for Faith Day, August 19th. That's tomorrow. A post-game concert by Third Day, presented by Grand Canyon University.
Pretty good baseball program at Grand Canyon. Well, Pacheco, George, has been robbed of hits twice. Stanton made a wonderful catch on what would have been an extra base hit in the 2nd inning. And then with runners at 2nd and 3rd in the 4th inning, he hit a bullet that was caught by Carlos Lee. He's in ditch right now, 0-2. To 3rd.
Well, Eovaldi's gotten lucky on a few, then he's made some pitches. You mentioned the line drive with men in scoring position for Pacheco in his last at bat. But what he's done in this game is making pitches when he's needed to get out of there. Never gone farther than 5 1/3 inning in any of his starts so far with the Marlins. Here he is, 5 2/3 innings so far. Charlie Blackmon make his first appearance 2012 for the Rockies.
He had 255 with a home run last year and 8 RBIs before breaking the foot. He's in 27 games, got 25 starts, most of them in left field. He got a couple of starts in center. This year, when he first got going, they had him playing at Tri-Cities in the Northwest League before moving him to Colorado Springs. Hit .303 for the Springs, 5 home runs, 34 RBIs, 59 games. Also stole 10 bases, so you know the feet are much better.
Pretty good sinker away there at 95. Late run. Charlie tried to go get it and go the other way with it. Got it by him.
Two outs. Rosario at second. He led off with a double. And only 2 count on Blackmon. Rockies have been playing better baseball in August. They've pitched better. That's the bottom line. They're 8-8 in the month.
And the offense has been there all year. Pitching has not. Now also the pitching is. You can see good results.
And he pulled the string. Blackmon gone. And that's all for the Rockies in the 6th inning. Rosario left at second base. 6-1 Marlins.
And that's when Torres came into the ball game. He ended up working in this inning and fly ball out to Chris Nelson. The next batter up, Brantley, a strikeout on a very good slider down and in. And then the ground ball over to Pacheco. Nice play there to end the inning. The toss over to Chris Nelson. Faced 4 batters, 3 outs, and did a nice. Learn about energy efficiency and how to save money in your home by investing responsibly by nature.com.
Will Harris will take over. It'll be the 4th appearance for Harris. Carlos Lee, Giancarlo Stanton, Rob Brantley in the 7th inning.
Yep, Will Harris has thrown 3 very good innings since he roughed up that initial appearance at the big league level. You can expect that first appearance. The double decks come into effect, but since then been very, very efficient. Picked up his big league win a couple of games ago. 4 innings, 3 strikeouts. You have to walk a batter, very much like what he had done at Colorado Springs. 17 strikeouts, just 1 walk there. 12-6 curveball, mid-90s fastball at times. A nice success story. A guy that had Tommy John surgery. Took him 18 months, almost 24 to get back. Pitched at Modesto at the back end of the year last year, about All-Star breaking on. Started the year in Tulsa, halfway through, moved to Colorado Springs.
Lee, a base hitters last time up, 1 for 3.
Down in the zone, you'll see a cutter most of the time from Will Harris. It'll appear to be a 4-seam fastball. That off the plate and called a strike. First curveball bounced in a 1-2 count. Try to ride that cutter a little farther out of the zone this time.
And that's another base hit.
Too much of the plate, too much elevated in the inner half of the plate. Wallin wanted that ball on the outer half and down. And he wanted it about 6 inches off of the plate to try to get Lee to chase. Watch where Wallin sets up. You can see he's about right out there on that outside corner. This ball, and if you track Wallin's glove as it's set from here back to here, you're talking about almost a 12-inch miss, and big league players make you pay for it. You did on that one.
The line on Carlos Torres, couple innings, no runs, 3 hits, didn't walk anybody, struck out 2. Stanton takes a strike. Oh, 2 on Stanton. And a base hit. He hung it.
2 times, 1 and 2 count base hit on a ball in the middle of the plate, and then on an 0-2 count to Stanton. 12-6 hook just seemed to stay in the middle of the plate.
I think it's better than,
and elevated a little bit.
Better than him hitting one 4 miles.
Sure it is. But now you got to deal with the situation here. You got a couple of runners on. You're down 6-1. And a runner at second base. Harris pitched at LSU. Jim Tracy getting looks now at some of these younger pitchers that have been called up of late that have excelled in getting an opportunity to pitch at the big league level. And this is what they would term one of those low pressure situations with your club trailing 6-1.
Miami as a club, they have a collective batting average from their catchers as Rob Brantley steps in of 190, which is last in all of baseball. And a line shot to Pacheco for the first out. And you can't fault Brantley there. Because Brantley's new to the party. John Buck, they were expecting a lot from. John has not hit this year.
All about reaction. Pacheco just even with the grass, and Brantley inside out swing on a fastball in the inner half of the plate. Nice play, Jordan Pacheco.
Now Donovan Solano, base hit back in the 30s, 1 for 3.
Big double last night in right center field.
Harris pounding the zone. It's 0-2.
last night. Their ball club chased a lot of those fastballs that were in above the hands off Harris. Tonight it laid off of him. Now the count's 1-2.
And he misses in there. 2-2. Been locked in at 6-1 since the bottom of the fourth inning. 6 runs came early tonight for the Marlins. And Solano chases. That's the second out. That'll bring up Velasquez.
Thinking about it being a fastball, but because you worked ahead in the count, you get on top of this curveball. And Harris really on top. See the 12-6 hook working, and really took it to the outside part of the plate. Even had a little bit of a left-hand turn on it. This thing over. Velasquez with his first base hit in the National League, a line drive to right field.
That's a fair ball on the check swing, and Michael Kadire says thank you very much. So Will Harris gave up a couple of hits early, works out of it. 6-1 Miami. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank member FDIC. And by Ram Trucks now get a great deal on a new Ram truck at the Ram Summer Clearance event going on right now. With George Frazier and Jenny Cavnar, Drew Goodman from Coors Field, the Rockies have not been able to figure out Nate Eovaldi. Chris Nelson in the 7th inning chops one to third, and Velasquez will throw him out. 1 pitch, 1 out. 1 run allowed by Eovaldi, just 5 hits allowed by the hard-throwing 22-year-old former Dodger. Came in the Hanley Ramirez deal. In fact, the Rockies have allowed 14 hits tonight. 4 hits in the first, 3 for Miami in the second. A hit in the third, a hit in the fourth, a hit in the fifth, 2 in the sixth, 2 in the seventh. So they've given up hits in every inning. And most of those innings, multiple hits.
For Eovaldi, I thought one of the key moments of the ball game, ground ball back to him on the mound. He had a snap throw and then a strikeout from Rosario. So, I mean, he did some things there in that second inning when they put 4 on the board and they turned right around and jumped back on it. Had a chance to, the Rockies did. He just squelched it immediately. Career high 103 pitches. He's done it a couple of times, including his last start. So he's got at 102 right now, 63 strikes, 39 balls. Matt Reynolds is throwing in the Rockies bullpen.
It's like a steak dinner, George, right there.
That kid it is, I guarantee you. I had a little bit of that at Frontier Days up in Wyoming. I had a little bit of everything up there, though. Boy, I crushed it. That Midway never seen me and a guy like me walk through there. I had everything. What do you want? Everything you got in the cart, pal. Go to the next one. What do you want? Everything you got in that cart. Nice play. If they get EY on this, that's a heck of a play.
Yeah, Jose Reyes, fancy footwork, the full pirouette.
You think it base hit right back up the middle. That little pirouette that Drew's talking about, that helps a lot of those shortstop get their feet under the ground.
He got him easily, as it turned out. Josh Rutledge with 2 gone. Rutledge an infield hit. He's 1 for 3. And he takes a strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, still throwing 95 miles an hour.
Eovaldi does have a few walks tonight, but by and large, he stayed ahead of the hitters. Rutledge pulls it foul. Mr. McConnell has the baseball. That's a good piece of hitting, George. That's a really good piece of hitting. That's a good hitter's base hit.
I'm waiting on people to start changing the way they go after Rutledge, because all of them try to trick him with a breaking ball away. And the other night it was a double off the wall, or triple, I should say, off the wall. Now it's the single on a nasty pitch.
I mean, you described it, George. That's a tremendous pitch.
It's a great pitch, right where they wanted to do it. You can see that the ball's probably going to get buried in the dirt. Look what Brantley did, was going to block the ball, and just dump it into the outfield.
Kid can hit. Dexter Fowler, 1 for 2 and a walk. Another 2-hit night for Rutledge. One and two. Well, Eovaldi, George, is going to be pitching in a very good ballpark, at least the early returns. Marlins Park has really favored the guys that toss the baseball so far.
A lot like the San Francisco Giants, Mark Burley, Josh Johnson. They've got some guys that to build around. Eovaldi showing tonight what he could do when right.
High. Well, tonight is the 30th ball game that Josh Rutledge has participated in, and he has 14 multi-hit games. And keep in mind, one of those games he came off the bench the other day and had a pinch hit triple, so he only had 1 at bat in that game. That was real close. Evaldi took 2 steps, or body language at least was moving him toward the dugout.
And it split that outside corner, or inside corner to Dexter, I should say.
And ball 4. Dexter's walked again. 2 men on for Michael Kadire with 2 outs. Time for our Coors Light freeze cam. Well, watch this play by Jordan Pacheco. It's a do or die play. You got to go bare hand, and you got to come up with it, or you don't. He did, and he made the perfect throw. Jordan has quietly really gotten better with the footwork at third base. He's cleaned up some of the throwing as well. Evaldi's gone with 2 outs in the 7th inning, and Kadire coming up with 2 men on base. I'll tell you about the pitching change when we come back. 6-1 Miami. On base, and he'll give way to Chad Gaudin. 33rd appearance for Gaudin. He's been around, George.
Been around, been a starter for a long time. Majority of his career, 49 strikeouts and 22 walks over that span. He's given up 4 home runs. 4-9 is his career. One guy that has handled him well is Michael Kadire. 4 for 9 also in his career against Gaudin. About 9 of 21 inherited runners to score. This kind of his niche here now, and late in his career, is to come in into the ball game 6-1, 5-run ball game. Try to clean it up, get out of it.
Michael's 1 for 2 and a walk. Takes ball 1. Rutledge singled. He's at second. Dexter Fowler just walked. Rockies have had a couple of opportunities to get back in contact in this game. The big hit has eluded them, and it will elude them again. 7 innings completed, Coors Field. The Marlins leading 6-1.
1 lead over the Colorado Rockies. Well, with Miami in town, that brings MLB Productions to Denver. They are wrapping up the final finale of the franchise, which airs on Showtime. And of course, the Marlins are their subject of season 2. It is a behind-the-scenes look at everything that goes on within the Marlins franchise, from the outgoing Heath Bell to the outspoken Ozzie Guillen. And as I caught up this week with field producer David Field, he said that things went very well.
The fact that they've continued to give us access throughout, despite the fact that, the season has not gone as planned, I think speaks to the character of these characters, and it's been a wonderful experience.
So the Giants were season 1, now the Marlins season 2. Who will be in season 3? Well, Danny told me there's 28 other teams to pick from. They'll go to the drawing board, they'll look at the most interesting teams that they could possibly find, and then they'll go to those teams, and it's a long process to try and get the dotted line signed for all of that access. These guys, the production team I should say, is on the charter. They are with this team day in and day out in the clubhouse, in Ozzie's office. The whole entire experience is very in-depth. So could the Rockies be next? Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see, Drew and George.
Well, I appreciate that. It'd be a lot of fun having them around. Why not?
Ozzie's pretty quotable. I mean, you never know what you're going to get from Ozzie, right? 1 ball and 2 strikes on Chad Godin. That would be fun. Brian Peterson, Gorkys Hernandez. Will Harris with his 2nd strikeout. And that'll bring Peterson to the plate, who's got 3 hits and 4 trips. And any hits in the first 2 games of the series.
He's not going to be able to swing the bat. Jim Tracy will go and get the left-hander, Matt Reynolds, out of the bullpen.
So Harris gets 4 outs. He goes off. And we will see Mr. Anderson when we come back, Mr. Reynolds when we come back.
Come in and face 2 left-handers in a row. Excuse me, left-hander and then the right-hander, Hernandez.
0-2 on Peterson. 4 3-hit ball game of his career tonight. He's never had a 4-hit game. Saturday night crowd of 30,426 at Coors Field.
Well, that should be really proud of the people who showed up here tonight at this ballpark with the Broncos and the season getting ready to start just a couple of miles away from here, less than that. For a preseason football game, tells you a lot of baseball fans here in this ballpark.
Absolutely. It's a lot of folks' first opportunity to see Peyton Manning in person, but 30,000 here at Coors Field. Big swing and a miss. Reynolds gets the strike out of Peterson, and here's Voorhees Hernandez. Curveball, strike one. One and two.
The wave is in full progress.
Haven't seen a wave in a while. It's throwback night. On the ground to short. Rutledge. Nice play. 1, 2, 3, 8th inning. The combination of Will Harris and Matt Reynolds. 6 outs left offensively for the Rockies, trailing by 5. The 8th inning, Willeen Rosario will lead it off. Stick around after watching the Rockies tomorrow for Rockies Weekly with Jim Tracy. And every week we remind you to look for the keyword during the show. Text it to 720-720 for a chance to receive prizes. You'll hear from the skipper and also have an opportunity to win other giveaways. It's Rockies Weekly with Jim Tracy tomorrow after the finale of this 4-game set between the Rockies and the Marlins. Rosario, Colvin, and Pacheco against Chad Godin, who's on the side, George, quite an impressionist artist.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
What's his favorite?
He models his work after Godin. Fouled off. 2-1.
Well, I don't know if it was baseball players or if it was Harry Carey, or you don't know, you're just making stuff up. I do that all the time. That's my wife.
Well, it's just a name thing.
I got you. I got that part too. Took a while, but I got it.
Two-1. Still a lively arm, George.
Well, 90, 93 miles an hour, but a lot of tail run on that pitch. Ran that ball up and in on Willeen Rosario. Only getting better at handling the breaking ball. Still has a tendency at times to chase the fastball up and in. That time he was able to hold off, stay away from it. He got a nice fastball to hit Vivaldi's previous at bat and drove that double into the gap. He just scalded that heater.
Way back and twisting foul.
Second time tonight, the Rockies have come up empty-handed with it. Long fly ball right down the left field line. Pacheco had one. Now Rosario.
Trying to make the field wider. Drew Pomeranz will return to the mound tomorrow. And Josh Johnson will be on the hill for Miami. 3-2 on Willeen. Outside, ball 4. So Rosario with a leadoff walk. Colvin coming up. Down low. Two on is low. 3-1. Rockies with just 6 hits tonight. They had 12 last night, but in the series, 18 hits. However, 15 of those hits are singles. Back up the middle, there's another single. And the Rockies have the first 2 on in the 8th. Jordan Pacheco coming up. Pacheco's lined out to right center. Great catch by Stanton. Lined out to first and hit a ground ball to third.
Sinclair's going to buy a little time. Their bullpen just started to throw down there. And Ramon Hernandez has stepped out into the on-deck circle to pinch hit pitcher spot. Two guys left on the bench, Herrera and Hernandez. Heath Bell, who came and pitched in last night's ball game, is getting loose here in the 8th.
Crowd starting to get involved, hoping for a rally with the Rockies trailing 6-1. Nobody out in the 8th inning. Pacheco at the plate. Sometimes, as you know, George, it takes only one hit to open that floodgate.
Sure. Well,
one
look at
key
how many,
hit.
Yeah, look at how many times we've seen the Rockies have that happen. You get a couple of hits, get a ball in the gap, all of a sudden a big fly, and there you go. Things get pretty good.
Dan's worked behind in the count since coming aboard. 2-0 count right now on Pacheco. And that's a base hit right center field. Rosario around third, truck into the plate, he'll score. And the throw to second is not going to get Jordan Pacheco. Second and third, nobody out. It's 6-2.
RBIs now for Jordan Pacheco. 18th pitch, and he gets the ball on the inner half, and he's able to just inside out dump this ball to right side off of Godin, and that's going to allow Rosario to come around and score, and Ozzie Guillen not going to mess around at all. He's going down to get Heath Bell, his former closer, now set up man in the 8th inning. As you see Pacheco slide into third base.
Godin walks off. The Rockies have 2 in scoring position, nobody out. They're within 4 here in the 8th.
Heath Bell now coming in for relief. I got a chance to talk to Heath Bell before the game today. The former closer, it's funny how you can find your problems when you're just doing a random activity. He said over All-Star break, he was looking at pictures with his kids, and he happened to see some pictures when he was with the Mets. That got him thinking, what did all my former coaches say to me when I was with the Mets that they didn't like about my pitching style? What was I trying to work on then? And for him, it was shortening up his stride. So he went out and threw a few pitches when he got back with the Marlins and realized where he was planting that foot on his stride, and then he tried to shorten it up. It was about 3 or 4 inches shorter. So he's really been working on shortening his stride. It helps his release point, and really the results have helped him out. In 14 games since All-Star break, he has 6 holds now in that 8th inning spot. He's only given up 12 hits and 5 earned runs, with most of those coming just a couple of games ago against the Dodgers. So, George, I don't know, I'll let you speak on it, but perhaps Heath's found his fix.
Well, he jumps out pretty quick, Jenny, and by doing that, if you get a little bit longer stride, you're going to stay flatter. And Heath, when he's at that down plane, boy, it's pretty good. 92 to 95, 96 miles an hour. Get really long with your stride, you're going to have a difficult time staying on it. And look at that shorter stride, way out on his toe. See the toe here, but the back foot's leaving early for me. I'd like to see it a little bit longer to set on that rubber to get a bigger load on it.
Ramon Hernandez pinch hitting. Chris Nelson on deck. Colvin at third, Pacheco at second, and it's fouled back right underneath our position. Somebody made a good catch. Swung on and missed, so Hernandez goes down against Bell.
And now 0 for 3 against in his career versus Heath Bell. They catch Chris Nelson, a right-handed bat, and he gets speed of Young. Chris Nelson excelled in this position of a ball game. It's 3:58 with runners in scoring position. The count evens up 1-1. Fastball at 93.
You got to cash in these two, George. Give yourself a chance.
Give yourself a big chance if you're able to get these two in here. Now, all of a sudden, Cishak's going to have a little more difficult time in the ninth. Last night, though, 1-run lead handled that.
(6-2) Miami. Chris Nelson behind 1-2 against Heath Bell, longtime closer of the Padres. One of the big off-season signings by these Marlins. The Marlins 12 games south of 500.
Inside heater. Gone away from him a couple of times. Bell steps off, pats himself on the chest, saying I got the wrong sign read, and backed away rather quickly.
And this ball lifted to center field. It'll be caught there, tagging, and coming home is Colvin. And it's a 6-3 ball game. Sac fly by Chris Nelson. Eric Young Jr. now at the plate. Had a base hit taken away last time up on a very fine play up the middle by Jose Reyes. Eli chases up at 94. It's 0-1. Junior 0 for 3 and a walk tonight. All 3 outs. Ground balls to Reyes. Pacheco singled in a run. He's at second base. Another one of those 1-2 counts. Junior's got a 7-game hitting streak on the line. That's the farthest thing from his mind right now. He's just trying to get Pacheco home. If he does, the hitting streak will take care of itself. And a ground ball to second. Solano throws out Ewott. Rockies get a couple of runs in the 8th inning, narrow the gap to 6-3 as we go to the 9th. Affairs online only at Southwest.com. And by 5-Hour Energy, 5-Hour Energy fixes tired fast. Saturday night in Lodo, the Rockies trailing the Marlins 6-3. 9th inning. Joe Klatt's out in center field, just hanging.
What's going on, Drew? Half a mile. That's right. That's the distance Giancarlo Stanton's home runs have gone here at Coors Field. 2,771 feet. We will count them all up on the postgame show. Plus, familiar foe Nathan Eovaldi from the Dodgers goes down to Miami. Apparently, that familiarity was the recipe for success for him tonight. We'll talk about all that. Plus, get you downstairs for Jim Tracy. That's coming up on the postgame show, Drew.
Joel, thank you. Right now, I have to tell you about a pitching change. A couple of changes. Ramon Hernandez stays in the ballgame at first base. And Guillermo Moscoso is on the hill. Now, looking out there is Kadire now in right field. He's got it. Check right field. If
Yep, that's still Colvin.
It's still Colvin out there?
Sure is.
Yeah, that's still Tyler Colvin. All right. I saw the glove. He's holding it in his left hand. So for a second from our distance, couldn't tell. So Michael Kadire comes out, which is strange, George, because he's due up next inning. And now you're worried about, did he re-aggravate the oblique? There's no way he'd be coming out of the ball game otherwise. He's due up next inning. Hernandez has 1 inning of work at first base this year. 44 games total in his career. Guillermo Moscoso working a Jose Reyes. Last time we saw Moscoso, Georgia was in a starting role.
Yep, starting role right now. Going to be asked to go into that piggyback role he filled in the other day. 4 innings, going into a little trouble into the 5th. High fastball, they wanted up and in. That was up, wasn't in. Moscoso went down to AAA. He'd been a 4-seam fastball guy, and he went down there and he worked on throwing the sinker, a cutter. Mostly working on movement down in the strike zone.
Here's the 1-2. Fouled off again. Remains a 1-2 count on Jose Reyes. And that's high, 2-2. And another foul ball. Hit it forward, Jose. And that's forward. It's in the air to Colvin in right field. One out. Carlos Lee will come up. Two for 4 tonight for El Caballo. So the Rockies in the 9th inning will have Rutledge, Fowler, and then we'll see with Kadire unavailable. Left on the Rockies bench is only one guy, and that is Johnny Herrera. So that's who will pinch hit. Another fly ball to right. Long run. Colvin. Can he get there? Yep. Nice running catch by Tyler Colvin.
It's all about getting reads and breaks, power right-handed bat. You see most of the outfield playing straight ahead, but the loft of the baseball allowed Colvin's speed to get under it and make the play on the ball.
Stanton, 3-run home run and a single. And once again, we remind you he's played 6 games at Coors Field and he has a home run in all 6 games. The shortest ball he's hit that went over the fence, 435 feet. Tonight he hit one 448. Oh and 1. Remember physically the biggest guy you've faced in the big leagues?
Dave Winfield.
Yeah, that's a big guy.
He was big. Greg Luzinski. Big man. Mike Smith wasn't small, but Luzinski was huge.
Do you ever think, boy, I don't want to make a mistake blowing away because it's coming back at me?
Well, and the other two guys that really bothered you from the left side of the plate were Parker and Stargent, because they crowded the plate and they hit the ball back up the middle a lot.
2 big men.
Very big.
Inside on Stanton. You talk about how tall he is.
Pretty good low ball hitter, though.
Yeah, remember Richie Sexton?
Yeah.
Richie Sexton was.
Well, it was a switch hitter that played for a long time, and he went over and played for Arizona at the very end of his career. Who was it?
Tony Clark. We saw Tony the other day.
6'8", switch hitter.
Yeah.
You know. So I mean, Dougie's telling me tallest switch hitter in Major League history.
Yeah. Tony works with Major League Baseball Players Association, and we saw him in San Francisco last week. 2-2. And Stanton fouls it off. We had Jim McElwain on, the new head coach at Colorado State, earlier, and he mentioned he knew about Stanton when he was coming out of high school. He's a national football recruit. And had he gone the football route, he was going to go to Southern Cal. Giants leading the Padres at Petco tonight 7-5. Headley's hit his 20th. Headley's hit 8 home runs over the last few weeks. I don't know the exact time frame, but Headley has gone off for the San Diego Padres. Reds beat the Cubs tonight 5-3. Soriano hit his 22nd. Frazier hit his 17th. Good looking rookie for Cincinnati. Cardinals over the Pirates 5-4. Yadier Molina, 3 hits, 2 RBIs in his return to the lineup. This is pop foul down the line and out of play. Diamondbacks beat up the Astros 12-4. They had a 9-run 5th. Chris Young is 13th. Aaron Hill his 15th. Cishek getting ready to go in the 9th. Mets shut out the Nationals 2-0. Jonathan Neese got the victory. Mike Davis his 22nd home run. Dodgers over the Braves 6-2. Hanley Ramirez a couple of home runs for the Dodgers tonight. Wow. And a strikeout, a Stanton by Moscoso. 1-2-3 9th inning for Guillermo. Rockies trailing 6-3, bottom of the 9th. Up next. If you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies score 7 or more for the Rockies Taco Special, text the keyword taco to 720-720. Feed your Rockies fever only at Taco Bell. So the man who got the save last night, his 8th save, is on the hill for Miami, Steve Cishek. It'll be the 53rd appearance. He's been very good this year. He's got kind of a funky delivery. Sidearm from the right side, but he throws hard. He'll throw the baseball 94, 95 miles an hour. Josh Rutledge, Dexter Fowler, and then because Kadire had to leave, that became the pitcher's spot. We still don't have an update on Kadire. And Johnny Herrera is the only guy left, so I'm sure it'll be Johnny Herrera to pinch hit. Nate Eovaldi on the plus side tonight. He went 6 2/3, allowing a run on 6 hits, walked 4, struck out 3. Tyler Chatwood, who had 2 very good starts coming in, struggled early. He gave up 6 runs in the first 2 innings, settled down in the 3rd and 4th, but was gone after 4. 9 hits, 6 runs, a walk and 3 strikeouts for Tyler Chatwood. He's on the wrong end of things. Josh Rutledge, another 2-hit night. Fly ball to right field and also a line shot to 3rd. He continues to impress. Rockies have been out hit 14-8. That's in there for a strike. Cubs and Reds actually were playing a double dip today, Frage, and Cubs won the nightcap 9-7. Cincinnati in the loss got a couple of home runs from Ryan Ludwig. He's got 25 now. Fouled off. American League scoreboard in the 5th inning. The Angels beating up the Rays 8-0. A couple of players for the Angels, George, have hit home runs.
Let me guess.
Go ahead.
Albert Pujols.
He's got his 27th. That's a good guess.
He's starting to get a little hot here. Is that what you're saying? It's starting to pay off.
Yeah, well, there's one more. Do you have another guess?
Trout.
Line drive to 3rd again. Rutledge has done that before. Yeah, Mike Trout's hit his 23rd.
And I tell you, you think Rutledge at some point is going to hit a low point, and all he keeps hitting is line drives. It's an out, but it was scalded.
Dexter Fowler coming up. Bottom of the 7th, the A's leading the Indians 5-1. Cespedes has his 16th home run. That's fouled off by Dexter. Bottom of the 7th inning, way out west, the Pacific Northwest, the Twins leading the Mariners 2-1. Rangers leading the Blue. Actually, you know what, George? They called it. It's all over. Rangers beat the Blue Jays tonight 2-1 in Toronto. Nelson Cruz is 19th for the Long Rangers. Nathan got his 24th save. Red Sox beat the Yankees at the stadium tonight 4-1. John Lester, outstanding performance. Adrian Gonzalez is 14th, and Curtis Granderson hit his 32nd for the Yankees. Baltimore beat the Tigers 3-2. And the Royals beat the White Sox 9-4. Konerko hit his 20th. Dunn is 35th. For Dunn, his 400th career home run. Line drive, base hit for Fowler. Dexter's 2nd hit of the night. He's got a pair of walks also, so he's been on 4 times. Preseason football, 3rd quarter. Broncos trailing Seattle 16-10. First half, they had a 10-9 lead. So Johnny Herrera will pinch hit. And the Rockies bench is empty. Still nothing from the Rockies clubhouse on Michael Kadire and why he had to leave.
Last night, Cishek, all he threw was a lot of fastballs. Don't throw many sliders at all. He said 93, 94. Today he's tried to trick a few people. Dexter took an off-speed pitch for a base hit to right. On the 0-1 count, he went off-speed, missed by a lot.
And that's fouled off. Six-3 Marlins, one out. Dexter at first. And a ground ball to second. And Solano does the wise thing with the significant lead, just getting out. And they're two gone. That'll bring up Rosario. Willeen tonight, a double and a walk, 1 for 3. Last night, Willeen threw out a couple of base hits, drove in a couple of runs. One and one.
Odd angles, velocity. One guy compared him a little bit last night. Little Dan Quisenberry with velocity. A Ziegler with velocity. Ziegler, a guy that used to be with Oakland, close, but didn't throw as hard as this.
Ground ball down the line. That's a fair ball, and then a bad break. It hit Dan Bellino, the umpire. Dexter would have scored easily, and Rosario would have been in scoring position for Colvin. As it is, Colvin represents the tying run.
Just part of baseball. He's standing there in foul territory. The ball was there. He tried to jump up out of the way of the baseball, and it caught his heel. He's trying to time the leap, but the ball came right up on it, just caught his heel. Not a whole lot you can do about it.
Tyler's got 2 hits tonight, 2 for 4. Willeen's going to move up. 2-0. Two and one on Colvin, and it's sharply hit, a base hit. 2 runs will score. It'll be 6-5. Tyler Colvin coming through.
Again, Colvin now with 51 RBIs. He drove in one earlier with a double back in the 4th. Now he's driven in 2 here with a single. Rockies making it interesting again, and Pacheco, a guy that can swing the bat well, is going to come to the plate. Good low fastball, a missed location. They'll watch Brantley rotate back. They wanted that ball away sinking. They caught the middle of the plate. And 2 runs are in now, and Randy St. Clair is going to go have a visit. Coleman very excited about the contribution. 3 RBIs tonight, as he should be.
Got a slider for a strike. 1 for 4, an RBI single in the 8th for Pacheco, but he's hit it hard a couple of times tonight. Been robbed twice. Colvin, the tying run at first base, runs well. Outfield playing no doubles. They're extremely deep. Guarding the line at 3rd now is Velasquez.
Well, you have to right-handed hitter. If they throw that slider and they get a double down the line, you got to run in 2nd and 3rd, give up the single, not the double. Outfield is deeper than normal. No doubles over your head. Let a single get out in front of you. Yeah, everybody's clapping over for Rockies comeback. They trail by 1. They've been out hit 14-11. She wants it bad. They want that base hit. How many games think she's been to? Rooting on her Rockies.
Slowly hit. Could be a tough play. Lee's going to make it to Cishek to end the ball game. Well, the Rockies put a scare in Ozzie Guillen's club, scoring 2 in the 8th, 2 more in the 9th. But once again, by a score of 6-5, as it was last night, the Marlins survive. So they've taken 2 of the first 3 here in Denver, and they've done it behind behind Giancarlo Stanton again. He had the early 3-run home run. Eovaldi gets the win. He's 4-8, 3-2 with Miami. Chatwood takes the loss. He's 3-3. Cishek with his 9th save. Tonight's Delivery of the Game brought to you by Jimmy John's, America's favorite sandwich delivery guys. We take you back to an at-bat from Jose Reyes. He lined it down the left field line, though initially he didn't even know where the ball went. It ended up being a 2-run triple for last year's batting champ, Jose Reyes. Visit JimmyJohns.com to find a location near you. Once again, the final score from 20th and Blake. The Rockies fall to the Marlins 6-5. Stick around. The Toyota postgame show is next.